Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Morning, Toastmasters. I'm Toastmaster Manjusha, and I'll be the SA for today's meeting. So, I welcome you all to today's 198th meeting, themed The Suppressed Emotions. Before we start the meeting, here are the 4 golden rules we all need to follow. The first one, please keep all the noise-making devices on silent mode. I'll give you 2 seconds to do that. Please do that. The second one, please don't walk out of the meeting hall while the meeting is going on. If you want to do so, please do it while the applause is going on. And the third one, please refrain yourself from talking about topics like gender, caste, religion, politics, or any other controversial topics. If you want to do so, please put it in a way that no one gets offended. And the last one, this meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded on social media platforms. So please be mindful of the words you choose to talk here. Coming to today's theme, the suppressed emotions. Our life revolves around the emotions. As someone said, 10% of the life is what happens to us and 90% is how we react to them. It is exactly said. And most of the times, we don't get a chance to put our emotions out. Sometimes it's good to hide those emotions. Sometimes it's better to let them come out, let them out. It completely depends on the circumstances, people around you. And I believe the way you control your emotions is what shapes you. The way you respond to people is what makes you better as an individual. I don't want to talk much about this because we have our TMoD Toastmaster Jasvitha to tell us a lot about Toastmaster Janani to tell a lot about this. And without much ado, I'll invite our presiding officer, Toastmaster Madhumita, to take over the stage. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, that's the energy I needed. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. Let me open the meeting. Meeting number 198, themed Suppressed Emotions by Toastmaster Janani. I declare the meeting open. I'm Madhumita and I'll be the presiding officer for today's meeting. Short story about our club, Toastmasters Amrita Bangalore. Our club was chartered on 20th of April in 2017 by 3 people, Sriram, Sahana, and Sanjay. Yes, the triple S. We have celebrated our 6th anniversary on Thursday, that is 20th April. Coming to the announcements part, let us all congratulate Toastmaster Veerabhadra Rao, who completed his level 3 in the pathway Engaging Humor. On a Saturday morning, we all are here for a reason. We all are here for a purpose. We want to improve ourselves. That is why we are here. Let me read out the club's mission. Our club's mission is to provide a positive and supportive learning experience for the member in which they are empowered to build the communication skills which results in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With that being said, let's get back onto the theme, suppressed emotions. Okay, I can see a guest in the online mode. Om, can you introduce yourself?
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi,
Yes.
hello, Tapsters. Good morning. It's really rare to see college students on a Saturday morning for a Toastmasters meeting, but yeah, at today's meeting, I'm looking forward to it because I'm mostly called as an emotionless person. So let's see what are the suppressed emotions I am having. So back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Om. I'm sure that you will have a great experience in today's meeting. Coming to the theme, suppressed emotions. Some point of time, we have always felt that we are sick in mind, but we are healthy in our body. We always wanted to tell, hey, no, I don't want to come there. But still, we suppress our emotions. We want to cry out, but we think that people may think us as weak, right? Never suppress your emotions. Talk much about it because we have our very own Toastmaster, Janani, who will be talking about this. With that being said, I welcome Toastmaster Janani, Toastmaster of the day, onto the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhumita. One fine, dark, and gloomy day, as the raindrops started to descend from the sky, fell on the grassy, sassy buds. It descended, splashing and splashing all the whole way. Creepy spider webs and icy bat wings welcomed a shredded heart as I passed. Tall, twisted trunks and dried twigs gazed over a shadow. Rotten leaves and stumbled stones remind of the broken promises faded in the air. I found myself standing in the middle of a vast forest. Darkness filling every corner. What is the story? Why is this happening? I felt myself of a person who couldn't express my emotions. We all have been through a situation where we couldn't open our heart out. I confided myself at a tender age that if you portray yourself, you do not have any problems in life, you're a strong person, people think that you are great, you're confident, you're brave, and whatnot. I contented myself at a tender age that I'm perfect. I am perfect. But something trembled in my heart. My heart flustered to speak and express my emotions out. On that note, every time I face the world with my chin up, a faint, deadly, feeble voice starts to murmur within myself. You are being judged. Judgment is a nerve-wracking fear, which made me not to express my emotions. Emotions can be anything. There are times where you'll feel lonely. Sometimes anger starts to come within you. I started to pent up my emotions like a raging fire behind me. And those all made me turn into an anger-driven monster. Why is this all happening? Is it because I'm not able to express my emotion? Is it because I'm scared to face the world? Is it because I don't want to be portrayed as a girl who is capable to solve her own problems? But with all these emotions taking place around us, there was one person who didn't fail to express his emotion, his love for Toastmasters. That is none other than Dr. Ralsei Smedley. He started Toastmasters. The first meeting of Toastmasters happened on October 22nd, 1924. With that being said, what is the theme all about? I'll be taking you all through the different phases of suppressed emotions. But before that, we have our beloved general evaluator for today's meeting, who's going to take us through an ample number of evaluations and is going to tell us how to get better at all of these. To give a brief introduction about our beloved Toastmaster, Pranav, he believes that the beauty is in simple things. He believes that life is beautiful when you live a simplicity within you. With that being said, I call upon the general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Pranav.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Well, speaking is like an art, and like all art, all of us can derive our own nuanced experiences and meanings from it. But sometimes what happens is we wanted to say something, and the listener understands something totally different, a miscommunication. Now, that in itself is not always a problem, but sometimes it can cause a lot of trouble. I'm pretty sure all of us have experienced it at least once in life. So, now what if there is someone who's there to tell where you're going wrong or where the audience is misunderstanding you? What if a person is there to tell you, give you constructive criticism that you can be better here? That is my role for the day as a general evaluator. Well, I am Pranav, and to fulfill this role, which is very vast, I have my own team, that is a tag team. It comprises of the timer. The timer for today, Toastmaster Harshitha, when I asked her for her intro, she told me a very little known fact in life. She rightly said that normal is overrated and weirdness is good, and she tries to be very good. With that, I'll call upon the Toastmaster Harshitha.
Good morning, everyone present here. I'm Harshitha and I'll be the timer for today's meeting. As a timer, I will time the table topic speeches, the prepared speeches, and also the individual speech evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time that they have left using the 3 cards that I'm showing right now, the green card, the yellow card, and the red card. For table topic speeches, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. For 1 minute, I'll be raising the green card. For 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll be raising the yellow card. And for 2 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. For prepared speeches, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. The green card will be raised when it's 5 minutes. At 6 minutes, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. For individual speech evaluations, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. For 2 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll be raising the red card. A buffer time of 30 seconds will be given to all the speakers if they exceed the time limit, but I would request you all to not use the buffer time. That's it from my end. I wish all the very best to all the speakers. Back to you, Toastmaster Pranav.
Well, the second member of the tag team, the R counter. When I asked her for her intro, she got me acquainted with a quote which also happens to be her way of life. She rightly says, when the quote goes, if you're looking for a helping hand, there is one at you, always around. With that, I'd like to call over Toastmaster Abhinaya, the R counter for the day.
Very good morning, everyone, and the guests present here. As introduced, I've taken the R counter role for today's meeting. I'll be keeping a note of how often or how less or how many times you use CRPF words. C stands for crutch words, R is repetitives, P stands for pauses, and F stands for fillers. I would give a suggestion of how you could avoid CRPF words. See, the crutches and repetitive words you can avoid by having a proper practice of the speech. or your way of talking, that'll be improved in that way. Pauses, there are two types of pauses, short and long pauses. Suppose I'm talking and I take long pauses in every sentence I use, and then whatever I speak will go meaningless or will have no value, or then the audience will lose interest when I'm talking. So short pauses are always appreciated. And to deliver a good speech, as the word of say, having tranquility is very much important. Yeah. So, and today's topic is suppressed emotions. I mean, listening to this topic, I feel very much interested in today's meeting to check up what you're all talking. So all the best, and I'll be back with my report at the end of the meeting. Back to Toastmaster Pranav.
Thank you. Now moving to the third and the final member of the team, the grammarian. Well, when I asked Toastmaster Daksh for his intro, he told me something which he has been trying to do all by himself, and I assume for quite some time. He says he's a person who's trying to find comfort in chaos, via which he wants us to understand he's trying to move on from his ex. Well, with that, I'd like to call over the grammarian, Toastmaster Daksh. A very good morning to fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's a gloomy Saturday morning, but we are here today because this club provides us a platform where we can come and speak to our heart's content. Everyone who comes onto the stage is a hero, but just like how every hero has a villain, I am that villain for today. As the grammarian, while all the speakers are on the stage speaking their hearts out, I'll be sitting there and observing your English, your grammar, and also be listening to some of the quotes or sayings that you use. I'll be noting them down and I'll be coming at the end of the meeting when the general evaluator calls me. Also, you may have noticed in the movies, the villain, he usually steals the hero's girlfriend or maybe the boyfriend. And when the hero tries to go after him, he usually sends a bunch of gundalog to counter him. So today, the gundalog are the word of the day and idiom of the day. Word of the day is tranquility, meaning the state of being peace or the state of peace and serenity. Example, ever since I joined this college, I've never had peace and tranquility in my life. Moving on to the idiom of the day, like a dog with two tails. It means it is used to describe a person who is feeling very happy. An example of this idiom would be, ever since my best friend managed to find a girlfriend, he's been like a dog with two tails. So I really request everyone who comes onto the stage to use both the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Back to Toastmaster Pranav. Thank you. Well, before I get back over to the TMoD, a few words over this theme of the day, suppressed emotions. Well, according to me, you suppress your emotions only because of fear of being judged. And unfortunately or fortunately, I have been given the most judgmental rule for the day. Well, I'd like to tell one thing. Do not take criticisms as something which people want to point you at. They are just telling you so that you can be better at. The moment you go over the fear of judgments of others, that is when you attain true peace and tranquility in life. That's all from my end. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav, for that detailed summary of your role. And coming to today's meeting, just like we have different stages in life, we have 3 main sessions in a Toastmasters meeting. The first session being prepared speeches. The second session being table topics, where many people's secrets is gonna get revealed. And the third and the last session is the evaluation session, where all of us are gonna get a lot of evaluations on how to improve on our things which we can better focus upon. And coming to a thing which I want to mention is, if any of the speaker or any role taker uses the word of the day or idiom of the day, I request everyone to give a thumbs up to encourage the member. And coming to the online audience, I request Toastmaster to turn on his camera and be on the camera throughout the meeting. With that said, quickly jump to the first stage of a Toastmasters meeting. That is prepared speeches. The speakers have put in a lot of effort and are here for a purpose. Shall we quickly jump into the first session of today's meeting? Can we? With that being said, let us go for our first speaker, Toastmaster Jasvitha. Now, before I call up her onto the stage, we have her evaluator for today, Toastmaster Aditya. To give a brief introduction about Toastmaster Aditya, he was an ex-Toastmaster member of NUK and he is back to Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru after 5 years. He's currently a CR of CSC. With that being said, I request Toastmaster Aditya to come over to the stage to give the speech objectives of Toastmaster Jasvitha.
Good morning to one and all present here. Firstly, I feel like a dog with two tails because I just managed to come here. So, yeah, moving on to my purpose. Today, I'm the evaluator, a speech evaluator for Toastmaster Jasvitha. A warm good morning to you. And yeah, the purpose of your speech is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. And you're doing your second speech. So I believe that you have evaluation for your first speech with you. Okay. And the purpose of the member is to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech. And I will be evaluating your speech. All the best to you. May you do best. Okay. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. Toastmaster Jasvitha, a person who's trying to come out the face of toxic positivity. Toastmaster Jasvitha, over to the stage. Toastmaster Jasvitha. Heard my name? Heard my name? Toastmaster Jasvitha.
Ever heard my name? What's my name? Thank you. Thank you. At least you know my name. My name is Jasvitha. I was given my name during my birth, unlike any others. No one got your name by birth, no? Yeah, sarcasm. My sarcasm is really bad these days. Okay. Then, when I was a kid, I was very happy that I had a unique name because I have never met a person with my name in real life. Have you met any other Jasvitha? Really? That's nice. I want to meet them sometime. So I was very happy. I was a dog with two tails because I had a very unique name. As a kid, I used to tell my mom every day, you know what? There's no one in my school with the name of Jasvitha. I'm the only one. I'm happy. It used to make my little heart so happy, and I was in the sense of tranquility during that time. Then, one day, my mom told me that her cousin had a baby daughter. I was 8-year-old and I had a 1-year-old sister. 1-year-old sister remembered, and she told that they named her Jasvitha, and my little heart broke. I was like, oh, my sense of uniqueness has been gone. Some other person, the name with the name Jasvitha. Okay, fine. But they spelled it differently. So I was like, fine, okay. Little sense of uniqueness preserved. Game done. I won. My life is going on. It was 2013, and like any other summer holidays, I went to my grandmother's to visit them. All my cousins and second cousins, especially Jasvitha, who was not me, and was also there. We were going. We were at our relatives' home, and I was meeting all my second cousins. I was a very introverted kid, not talking to anyone, and I heard a voice saying, Jasvi, stop. And my feeling was, where am I running? I'm right here. And is a human girl really calling me? Then I got to know it's not me. That's the 2-year-old kid they are talking about. And I was jealous. Yes, a 10-year-old kid was jealous over a 2-year-old kid because she had the same name as her. All my relatives were like, so cute, Jasvitha, so cute, you're so good. And I was very jealous at that point of time. And the days were going on. I heard that they are going to Tirupati the next day. I spent my grandmother's over there, and I just went back home to Warangal, which was very far at that point of time. It's 700 kilometers from my grandparents. And I heard that their trip to Tirupati got postponed and my classes started. I was in 5th grade. And after that, one day, my mom got a call. The call was something that built tension up in the room. My dad, who never usually takes a leave, he was back home. Mom and dad were talking. One day, I didn't know what was happening. And the second day, they told, pack your bags, we are leaving right now. We are leaving. I didn't know what to do. It was a journey of 21 hours. We never start during the day. We go during the night. And at that point, we just packed our bags. We were going in the bus. I was asking my mom, what's happening? Tell me what's happening. The big news. The trip which they had to go to Tirupati got postponed to 1 month, and they left the last day, the day before the news has arrived, and their car met with an accident. A bus collided with a car, and news. My grandfather is in ICU. Grandmother's spine broke. My uncle had a plastic surgery. His face was very damaged. Aunt jaw was broken. And the shocking news of all, Jasvitha is no more. The 2.5-year-old kid who I was so jealous about is no more in this world. And I was told very particularly, as a 10-year-old, it was my first encounter with death. I was never been to a funeral before, especially of such a young kid. And we were in the bus. My mom told me especially that, see, please don't go in front of your uncle or aunt, and don't take your sister also. Your sister is of the same age as her, and you have the same name of her. As parents, they can't take that their child is gone. And I was a 10-year-old kid, and I didn't know what the meaning of death was. All the meaning of death was Tom and Jerry. Jerry dies everywhere. Every time when Tom magically brings Jerry back. And for me, as an immature kid, death was not mattering much at that point of time. I went to the funeral. I saw my aunt, the sister of my uncle. She lost her father. She lost her niece, her mother. Her brother was in an ICU. Her sister-in-law was not able to talk. A family was shattered within 2 hours of journey. This happened all during one day. One day because a journey got postponed for 1 month. A journey got postponed because the numerology said that you can't go on 18th because it adds up to 9 and 9 is not a good number that day. Just because all this happened, just because their luck was not good, it all happened. Then I was in the funeral, I was looking at all of those things, but there was hope. There was hope that at least my aunt said, at least my brother and my sister-in-law survived. They can start a new life again. There were everyone helping them all over. I could still, my uncle back home, he met me and he smiled at me. That moment I felt life is much over death, and you should value your life after a point of time. Until today, whenever I feel my luck is very bad, I should stop trying. I try to remember this incident, saying that whenever your life stops, you can still start over. My uncle and aunt, they are in America right now. They are blessed with 2 baby boys. They're having a very nice life. And my grandmother, who was in ICU, she is perfectly fine right now. And everything is going well. And this incident, I'm telling you, not because you should not be traumatized by this incident, but I'm telling you because never give up hope and don't suppress your emotions. They are better to be expressed. Thank you.
That was an amazing speech. Moving on with the second speaker, Toastmaster Aditya. Before I call upon Toastmaster Aditya, we have his evaluated Toastmaster Shambhavi. To give an introduction about Toastmaster Shambhavi, she's a person who loves to do new things every day. But since she doesn't have enough sleep last night, today, so she's here to do new thing of evaluation and start her life fresh. With that being said, I call upon Toastmaster Shambhavi to give the speech objectives.
A very warm good morning to everyone. And a special good morning to my target speaker, Toastmaster Aditya. Toastmaster Aditya will be delivering his speech for his level 1 project 2 under the pathway Persuasive Influence. The purpose of this speech is to learn or review basic methods to write a speech with purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note the time limit for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And all the best, Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shambhavi. Toastmaster Aditya, a person who's really energetic and wants to give his best at any time in life. Toastmaster Aditya, over the stage. Toastmaster Aditya, adventurer, Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Janani. Life. It can get hard sometimes, isn't it? Life can get challenging. We can get lost in and about our own day-to-day activities. Get lost without moving a step further. It feels like we're going around in circles in the same spot, right around square one. The singular square that we always dread, always fearing failure or not going ahead in life. So, life needs a purpose. It needs a direction. A direction so that all of us know where we can align ourselves, align our talks, align ourselves to be better in life. What is it to have a purpose? To have a purpose in life. A purpose in life what is it according to all of you? What is a purpose in life? It can be anything. We can have our own purposes in life. Yes, to eat. Amazing. A connoisseur of food, I feel like. So it is what it does. It is what it makes us do. The purpose of life is what we do to do and achieve it. We also find a purpose of life through our passion. Through passion can we find our purpose, and through purpose can we find direction. This sort of direction is very important for us in life. So, do great work. Let's do great work. And how do you do great work? You can only do great work if you love your work. How to find your love for work? You find till it feels right. Just like every issue with the heart, everything that concerns the heart, you will just know it. You will know how and what is it that you actually like. This is a very famous quote and saying by my personal mentor, my role model, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs has influenced the way we interact with technology. His strive to bring about elegance and intricacy in the technology that we use to simplify things, the user experience of each and every person has been simplified by Steve Jobs. Why do I idealize him? He was a symbol of a person who had a purpose in life. And that was to bring about a better user experience to the mass crowd. He wanted every single person to sit and interact with the computer with technology like never before. To have a personal computer in the late 1990s was unheard of. That is what Steve Jobs brought about. You must think that with Steve Jobs, a person with that great caliber, as my idol, I would have everything in life figured out. No, not at all. Zilch. I have zero idea to where my life is going on or to where I am going. But I am in the process of figuring it out every single day. Going forward, purpose in life. Cover that. Steve Jobs, my role model, my idol. So I idealize him from a very young age, actually, from say about my sixth standard. And from around my sixth standard, my inquisitiveness and everything started growing. I tried my hand at various things, at guitar. I tried learning to play the guitar. I tried playing cricket professionally. I got into karate. I almost got my black belt. I had to leave because of other constraints. All this, and yet no activity hooked me on for more than 6 months. That was my flaw. I could not find my passion. I could not find my purpose. And after, say, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, life just went on. My 9th grade, people started pressurizing me. Oh my God, you're in 9th grade already. 10th is coming up. You have boards in 1 year, 2 years. And when I wrote my boards, I sure if I studied for more than 2 weeks. That was a very hit and a miss from all the advice that I got from my elders. So Steve Jobs done, my role model done, and then I have achieved here with no purpose in life, with no sense of direction. Back in 2019, I was still in my 10th grade. I came across this website that made very bold claims. The claim was, you answer this 100 questions questionnaire, and it will tell you what your personality is. Any of you know which website this is? 16personalities.com. So what this website claims is that each and every single person on this earth can be categorized into one of the 16 distinct personalities. In my 10th grade, I took this up to find out who I am or what I am to do with life, if it could provide me any answers. I took the test up with utmost dedication. I got the personality of an adventurer. An adventurer was something that I disagreed with because the quote that suits adventurer personalities is, I wake up in the morning as a person and I go to sleep to bed as a completely different person. That is guaranteed. By that time, I thought I was a pretty stable person, so I disregarded the answer that it gave. I completely disregarded it. Move past 2 years, in my 12th, I told my friends about the same thing, 16personalities.com. Because COVID, my brain was very idle, the devil's workshop, and I needed the answer to what am I going to do in life? Is it going to be engineering? So again, I took up the test. Guess what? The result was adventurer again. So adventurer again. With my friends, and then they told me, maybe it's just that you have an adventurer personality hiding inside you. You never know. Jump to this day in college. All I want to do is go out, seek, and explore. Explore till my heart is content. Embrace the unknown with open arms. All in all, it's just that, does my life have meaning? Does my life have any sort of sense? Yes, it does. I am on the greatest adventure of life, trying to figure out what my purpose is. Thank you.
Toastmaster Aditya, an adventurer. You want to know what's your personality? Go to 16personalities.com. Moving ahead to the next speaker, Toastmaster Siddhant. Before I call upon a stage, I like to call upon the speech evaluator, Toastmaster Vidya. She believes that emotions are like a kaleidoscope. They are different, yet beautiful. I call upon Toastmaster Vidya to give over the speech objectives for Toastmaster Siddhant.
A very good morning, fellow. Good morning to my targeted speaker, Toastmaster Siddhant. Today, I'll be evaluating your icebreaker speech in the part of presentation mastery. And the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a speech. Member, please note down the time limit for the speech is 4 to 6 minutes. And break the ice with tranquility, since this is going to be one of the most memorable speeches of your Toastmaster journey. So make sure you live every moment of it and give your best. Over to Toastmaster Janani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidya. Master Siddhant, a fun-loving person, an aspiring engineer in the future. I hope you become an engineer. Toastmaster Siddhant, over to the stage. The situational mindset. Toastmaster Siddhant, the situational mindset.
Thank you, TM Janani. So the situational mindset. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Siddhant, and today I'll be giving my icebreaker, which feels more like a brain breaker speech to me. So I'll start off with a quote. So, as the famous philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson says, the only person you're destined to become is the person you decide to be. So today I've decided to be the best version of myself, and every day constantly working on myself. So I'll start off with my childhood. So I was the king of procrastination. Ever since I used to go out with my friends, I used to stay out of my house only. I never used to stay inside. So my mom always used to get worked up that when will I come back, and she used to yell my name from our balcony, and it became an everyday phenomena of her calling me. I used to chuckle every night seeing her gargle to get her voice back. Homework and tests was never a problem because I had a secret weapon, zero period. So I used to gather all the notes and answers to my assignments from my classmates, they used to break their head to do it, and I used to just take it from them. But eventually, I used to manage to get good grades by studying at the last moment. So I have an elder sister, and most of the fondest memories that I have is with her when we used to have fun banters. We used to annoy each other all the time, and I remember I used to take her share of snacks whenever our parents. I used to basically hide her notebooks just before her classes, and while she was searching, I used to giggle and laugh all the time about that. Even she used to annoy me, make me do menial tasks, and like untying her shoelaces when she comes back from school and all. I used to try out a lot of things. I was into tennis, swimming, abacus, keyboard, a lot of things. I used to move on, but I was also into improving my handwriting skills because, I mean, yes, I really had a bad handwriting. I mean, I still have, but I think it's still better than a doctor's handwriting. Moving on, I remember my abacus days every weekend I used to go, and it was more of a escapism from studying and just having a fun time with my friends. So it was less about the serious learning. But even by that, I eventually went for championship to Chennai and Goa. And then also it was an escapism from school so that I can enjoy my time to the beaches of Chennai and Goa. But to my surprise and to everyone's surprise, I eventually won two silver medals. And it was quite a revolution for me because this taught me that I can do well without being stressed out and taking everything serious in life. Moving on to the times of COVID and class 12. So it was a time, it was the time of online classes, and
Um, and that was the time when I was alternating between studying, binge watching shows, and snacking junk foods and all while playing video games. And when online classes started, I became really, really lazy, but it was also a fun time because I used to get more than my beauty sleep. And it was also a challenging time for me, especially because my mom was hospitalized, and as she was infected with severe COVID, and uh, her lungs being 75% infected. So I had to take care of her for a few weeks, visit hospitals, and I was completely on my own because my father was also not there during that time. So eventually, after some time, when she got back recovered, I was finally in tranquility that, and I was in peace that she's finally healthy and normal. Um, right now, I want to be an aspiring engineer, but I'm also passionate about music. And during the lockdown, I taught myself how to strum the guitar and get proficient at it. Right now, I want to build my confidence and improve my soft skills. So, looking back at my journey, the things which seemed like weaknesses and setbacks the were actually helped me to grow and helped me to become what I am today. Um, from having a unique way of dealing with things to taking things easy to my passion for music, I've learned to embrace my quirks and use it to my advantages. So let's remember that everyone has a unique thing to offer, and uh, we can decide who we want to become from if we follow our passions, if we follow our passions with determination, take risks, and learn from our failures. We can uh, eventually, if we look back after some days, we'll see that it didn't matter that much, and we'll see that the things that seemed like stumbling blocks were actually the stepping stones to our success. So thank you so much. I feel like a dog with two tails today.
Toastmaster Siddhant, that was a remarkable and magnificent speech. Can we all give him a huge round of applause? We're done with all the prepared speeches. Now it's time for some fun. That is table topic session. We have our very own beloved Toastmaster Tanoj. He believes he is a voyager who wants to travel and discover the world. But he's not able to do that because he joined Amrita. Don't worry, you'll graduate soon and you'll travel the world. Toastmaster Tanoj, over to the stage.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm Tanoj and I'm tabletop master of the day. Firstly, today's our theme is suppressed emotions. After I heard that name, I only remember one person, that is Sweetie from Race Guram film. Yeah. Okay, what exactly is table topics? Let's see. Tanoj, a 18-year-old boy, is roaming in the park, and then he sees a girl over there. She's really fabulous. He falls in love the moment he sees her. He reaches out to her and asks, "What's her name? Like, what's your name?" She replied, "Hey, I'm Vamika. What's up?" And Tanoj tries to make a conversation out of that. And he goes, I, and he stops there, and his conversation fades out, and the girl walks away. If you don't want to lose that girl again, and if you want to practice in making speeches, we have to do it at Toastmasters in table topic sessions. Table topic sessions is a place where I give you a topic and you'll have to speak about it for 2 minutes. Timer, please note that. Show green coffee. and 1.5 yellow card for 1.5 minute and red card for 2 minutes. And there's a buffer time of 30 seconds. And yeah, who be the first volunteer? Yeah, Toastmaster Pranav, come to the stage. What is an emotion that you often suppress? Why do you suppress it? I repeat, what is an emotion that you often suppress? Why do you suppress it?
Right? But well, the emotion which I often suppress, very simple, it's craving. Well, if you keep food in front of me, I need to eat it. Be it sweet, be it spicy, be it tangy, I don't care, I'll eat. As long as it is vegetarian. One condition. Well, the reason I suppress cravings is because when I go and eat whatever is there, it feels I'm eating whatever I want. But do I really like it? I don't know. Should I really eat it? No. So if I take a thought, if I take a minute to think, is it something I like, or am I just eating it just because it's there in front of me? How many of you do that? There's a sweet in front of you, and the first is bringing it. You just take it. You don't even realize that it is a sweet which you like, it is a sweet which you don't like, or are you in the mood to eat a sweet that day? You just take it and grab it. That is what I used to do. And the reason I suppress it is because, well, I don't want to keep eating, one, and I don't want to, you say, show that I'm having a craving for food, because mad quite easily. Like my patience level is a fuse. I don't want to give people an easy opportunity to get win me back with food. That's all. Thank you.
And yeah, who will be my second volunteer? Toastmaster Jasvitha, come to the stage. And yeah, what do you think that suppressing your emotions is a good thing or bad thing? Why? I repeat, what do you think that suppressing your emotions is a good thing or bad thing? Why?
Suppressing emotions. If you think your mind or heart is a basket, you suppress your emotions, you suppress it. After a time, it becomes a dustbin. Trust me, you are going to blast. But you're in front of your teacher, and they say that, "Oh my God, your Viva,